Nil-Rate Band Trusts. Have you ever been concerned about your children being disinherited if you died and your partner remarried? Are you concerned that one day your house and assets may have to be sold to provide funds for long-term care, dramatically reducing your children's inheritance? When you die, you have to pay inheritance tax on your estate. Anything you give to your spouse is exempt from inheritance tax. All individuals in the UK have a nil-rate band, which is not subject to inheritance tax. Here is an example of a couple that own their £350,000 house jointly and have joint bank accounts and investments totalling £300,000. They each have a child from a previous relationship. They want to leave their estate to each other and then their children. They, however, are concerned because they are fully aware that there is a risk that two scenarios could happen. If the surviving spouse remarries, their estate could pass to their new spouse, or they could fall out with their stepchildren. Both of these could result in the children being disinherited. They have also recently seen their parents go into long-term care, which has resulted in huge financial implications. They are concerned that over time, any potential inheritance could be eroded by care fees. The Nil-Rate Band Trust could be a solution to their concerns. Here's why. Step 1 is to split your assets so that they are owned on a sole basis. If the assets are owned jointly on first death, then the surviving spouse will automatically own 100% of the assets. Advisor will assist you and provide guidance and support throughout the process. They now each own 50% of their total savings, investment and property. The assets will now be split in accordance with their individual wills. On first death, the clients are able to divert their nil-rate band allowance into their Nil-Rate Band Trust created by the will. The trust can include cash, property, shares and bonds up to the nil-rate band limit. The surviving spouse would generally be a trustee and would have other trustees that were stated in the will to help manage the Nil-Rate Band Trust. The surviving spouse can then have a life interest in the trust. They can borrow money from it, which would be a debt to their estate, and could also reduce the inheritance tax upon second death even further. It allows flexibility in the trustees, changing the beneficiaries over time, and can be a good way to avoid inheritance tax for future generations. By placing the nil-rate band in trust, you can ensure the assets within the trust will be protected against second marriages and care fees. Advisor will. Simple, fast and efficient.